Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week World Currencies, Stock Markets and Commodities Deep Dive for Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies showed mixed performance against the greenback this week. The US dollar weakened against the euro, closing at 0.8532. Against the yen, it dropped to 146.88, marking its third consecutive weekly decline. Monthly returns reveal significant weakness in the greenback, particularly against the euro, showing a decline of 2.6%. Year-to-date performance shows broader weakness, with the dollar down nearly 12% against the euro and 7.4% versus the British pound. Looking at longer-term performance, the dollar-yen pair shows a 20% gain over the past decade. Meanwhile, the Swiss franc has strengthened significantly against the dollar, with a 15% appreciation over the same period. Among other major pairs, the Kiwi showed notable volatility, with the dollar gaining 0.93%. The rupee remained resilient, with the dollar maintaining a very strong positive trend despite today's slight decline. Short-term returns show the New Zealand dollar experiencing the most movement, with a weekly return of 0.94%. The Singapore dollar has strengthened consistently, with the greenback down 1.3% month to date. 10-year performance metrics show the dollar-rupee pair with the strongest gains, up 31%. Conversely, the Singapore dollar has appreciated 9% against the greenback over the same period.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Turkey leads the pack, up 4.2% with a strong positive trend. Denmark and Norway both show 3 consecutive weeks of gains, with Norway displaying strong upward volatility. Month-to-date returns show Denmark and Malaysia outperforming, up 7.9% and 9.5% respectively. China has gained 7.2% this month, while Turkey has advanced 5.4%. Looking at longer-term performance, China stands out with a 46% gain over the past year. Turkey shows impressive 3-year returns of 17.3% annually, while Denmark has delivered nearly 7.7% annual returns over the past decade. Among underperforming markets, Poland declined 2.2% this week, marking 2 consecutive weeks of losses. Austria and Taiwan both fell over 1%, despite maintaining strong positive trends. Despite recent weakness, month-to-date returns remain positive for these markets. Austria and Japan have both gained over 8.5% this month, while Poland is up nearly 3%. Long-term performance remains solid for these markets. Poland shows remarkable 3-year annual returns of 35.4%, while Taiwan has delivered 9.1% annual returns over the past decade. Austria maintains a strong 7.4% 10-year annual return.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Gold futures and silver futures are showing very strong positive trends, with silver rising 2.8%. Copper maintains a strong negative trend despite breaking upward from recent consolidation. Year-to-date returns show impressive gains in precious metals, with gold up 29.4% and silver advancing 33.6%. Copper has posted more modest gains of 10.7%, while aluminum remains relatively flat. Looking at long-term performance, gold leads with a 10-year return of 194.8%, translating to an 11.4% annual rate. Silver follows with 155.2% over the decade. Copper and aluminum show more modest gains. In energy markets, natural gas continues its downward spiral, falling 3.9% for its fifth consecutive weekly decline. Gasoline shows strong downward volatility, dropping 3.8%. Brent crude advanced 2.8% despite mixed trends. Year-to-date performance shows significant weakness in energy, with natural gas down 22.9% and crude oil declining 11.2%. Heating oil and gasoline have remained relatively stable, with minimal losses. The 10-year perspective reveals modest gains across energy futures. Crude oil and heating oil both returned about 57%, while natural gas has barely broken even with just a 4.7% gain over the decade. Live cattle and feeder cattle both hit new all-time highs, with feeder cattle surging 4.1%. Corn prices jumped 7.2% after breaking out of a sideways pattern. Class 2I milk rose 2.1% for its third consecutive weekly gain. In grains, rough rice hit a new one-year low, plunging 6.8% amid strong downward volatility. Soybeans show a very strong positive trend, with some upward volatility. Oats declined 2.7%, marking their fourth consecutive weekly drop. Grain futures showed mixed performance this week. Corn futures led gains, rising 28 points to 411.75, with a notable 7.2% increase. Rough rice futures slumped to 11.83, recording a new one-year low amid strong downward volatility. Soybean futures maintained positive momentum. Looking at longer-term performance, grain futures show varying results over the decade. Corn and soybean futures posted modest 10-year gains of 12.7% and 19%, respectively. Wheat struggled with a nearly 40% decline over 3 years. In soft commodities, coffee futures surged 44.10 points to 378.30, marking a 13.1% weekly gain. Cocoa retreated 6% amid downward volatility. Cotton and sugar futures showed modest upward movement after breaking out of sideways trading. Coffee continues its strong performance with a 27.9% gain month to date. Cocoa has declined 8.5% this month, while orange juice futures show persistent weakness, down 6.5% in August amid strong negative trends. Long-term returns reveal cocoa's remarkable 3-year gain of 235%. Coffee has nearly tripled over the past decade, up 199%. Orange juice shows mixed performance with a 44% 3-year gain despite recent weakness.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Lou Quiddity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports, written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.